Hello my friends and welcome back to Absurdia. Today we will be visiting the free continent of Aldoria. So as its name suggests, Aldoria is a free continent, that meaning it doesn't have a king or a ruling party. Instead, Aldoria is made up into a bunch of self-governing city-states, little territories, a baron here or there controlling a few villages. But Aldoria has remained without a king since the fall of its great empire, Zirvatar. Vibes and aesthetic-wise, I want you to picture something like this. Aldoria is supposed to be like your typical fantasy kingdom. Like, you know the fantasy kingdom you pictured when you first heard the story of like Snow White or Sleeping Beauty? That's what Aldoria is supposed to feel like. It's supposed to invoke the feeling and imagery of a fairy tale kingdom. Because of its reputation as being the free continent, Aldoria has attracted all manner of people to its shores. Those ranging from treasure hunters and adventurers willing to go into the dungeons and look for great artifacts, all the way to criminals running from the law, looking for a fresh new place to sell their stock, considering there is no government that's gonna oppose them. Speaking of the dungeons, I think now is a good time to just tell you a little bit about Zirvatar. I'll have to explain this in another video. I know I'm sounding like a broken record by now. But trust me, I can't explain all of it in this video, but this is what you need to know. Basically, in the beginning of the modern calendar of this world, there used to be this great empire known as Zirvatar. And Zirvatar was also located on Aldoria. It had a bunch of like other outposts and colonies on the other continents, but this was its main seat of power. In fact, the entire continent known as Aldoria was named after its emperor, Aldor. There's a lot of speculation in-universe as to what exactly happened to Zirvatar. But as far as anybody knows, this great empire fell in one day and one night. What's left of its civilization are now these huge ruined dungeons. These, of course, being the dungeons that adventurers the world over travel to try and find their fortunes in. Basically, this is how I answered the dungeon part of Dungeons & Dragons. Other notable places that you might want to know about other than the ruins of Zirvatar? Well, right here we've got the Toadstool Peaks, a mountainous region of giant mushrooms, the Cult of Ambrosias and the Lake of Love right here next to me. I'll talk about the gods in another video, but what you need to know about Ambrosias right now is he's basically my answer to Dionysus. He's the god of pleasure, passion, and lust. The Wild Heart Sanctum at the middle of the Fey Garden. The Wild Heart Sanctum being the biggest druid temple in the entirety of Absurdia. Built in the honor of the goddess of nature, Eltariel. And the Fey Garden, think of that as being Feywild's adjacent. It's where a bunch of stuff that cannot really be explained happens. It's the creepy woods. Not big enough to be the Feywilds, therefore garden. The elven city-state of Lorelith. The Cape of Good Fortune right here next to me, but that's just in reference to the Cape of Good Hope where I'm from. Oh, and BioBill's shack. I'll tell you guys about BioBill another time. Aldoria is usually caught in a lot of political conflict with the rest of the world. 'Cause it doesn't have a king, therefore nobody to answer to, but also nobody to protect its people. As a result, Aldoria has seen its fair share of conflict, heroes, villains, but throughout all of that, it's still kept its independence. So yeah, that's about what I can tell you guys about Aldoria right now. Obviously, this is a very oversimplified video. Think of this as, again, just being an overview for the continent. But there's still a lot to be said about this continent, such as Zirvatar, BioBill, the gods. So I'll eventually circle around back and talk more about that. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. Trust me, like I said, we're in for a ride. Stay tuned, as next time we will be visiting Caerwyn. So, Stay tuned, my friends.